Chapter 12 starts with a new little poem. Who guards his tongues as they would keep a treasure rich and rare, will keep himself from trouble free and dodge both fear and care. What Reddy Fox saw and what he did. Chapter 12, The Adventures of Prickly Porky. The trouble with a great many people is that they remember this way too late. Who guards his tongue as if he would keep a treasure rich and rare, will keep himself from trouble free, and dodge both fear and care. Yes, the trouble with many people is they remember that way too late. Reddy Fox is one of these. Reddy is smart and shy, and clever in some ways, but he hasn't learned yet to guard his tongue. And half the trouble he gets into is because of that unruly member. You see, it's a boastful tongue and an untruthful tongue. And that's the worst combination of making trouble that I know of. It's landed in him all kinds of scrapes in the past, and here he was in another one, all account of that tongue. Jolly round Mr. Sun was kicking his rosy blankets off, and he was smiling down at the great world. He was beginning his daily climb up into the blue sky. The jolly little sunbeams were already dancing through the green forest, chasing out the black shadows, and Reddy knew that it was high time for him to be over at the hill where Prickly Porky the porcupine lives. With lagging steps he sneaked along from tree to tree, peering out from behind each anxiously, afraid to go on and still more afraid not to be, for fear that he'd be called a coward. He had reached the foot of the hill without seeing anything out of usual, and without any signs of old Uncle Billy Possum either. He was just beginning to hope that Uncle Billy wasn't there, and he said he would be, when a voice right over his head said, "I certainly is glad to see you here. I was as good as word, Bear Fox, and you need someone brave like that to find out who the strange creature is, and that's been a chasing him. I certainly am glad, yes sirree. Oh, Mr. Fox, Bear Fox." Reddy looked up with a sickly grin. There sat Uncle Billy Possum in the pine tree, right over his head. He knew now there was no backing out of it. He'd got to go. He had to go on. He had to try and swagger and look very bold and brave. "I certainly is glad to see you. You was a good on your word." That's what he said. Yep. "I told you I'm not afraid. There's nothing queer about this. I'll find out what it is," he once more boasted. But Uncle Billy noticed that his voice sounded a wee bit trembly. "Keep right on to the foot of the hill. That's where I saw it yesterday. But I'm glad that you got someone so brutally brave," replied Uncle Billy. So now Reddy looked at him sharply, but there wasn't a trace of a smile on Uncle Billy's face, and Reddy couldn't tell whether Uncle Billy was making fun of him or not. So there being nothing else to do, he went on. He reached the foot of the hill without seeing or hearing a thing more, and then the green forest seemed just as it always had seemed. Red-Eye, the Vero, was pouring out his little song of gladness, quite as everything it just should be. Just as it should be, he was saying. Reddy's courage began to come back. Nothing had happened. Nothing was going to happen. Of course not. It was all about Peter Rabbit's foolishness. Someday he would catch that Peter Rabbit and put an end to such silly tales. What was that? Reddy's sharp ears had caught a sound up near the top of the hill. He stopped short and looked up. For just a little wee minute, Reddy couldn't believe the eyes what he saw. Coming down the hill straight towards him was the strangest thing he'd ever seen. He couldn't see any legs. He couldn't see any head. He couldn't see a tail. It was round like a ball, but it was the strangest looking ball that he'd ever was. It was covered with old leaves, and Reddy couldn't believe it that it was alive, but for the noises it was making. For just a wee minute he stared, and then what do you think he did? Why, he gave a frightened yelp, whoop, 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 put his tails between his legs and ran as fast as he could with his legs would go. Yes, sirree, that's what Reddy Fox did. Oh, there we go. I got a picture of Reddy Fox running down a hill. End chapter. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great.